This is a Dragon Blazer production, and I am the little boogeyman.
All right. Coming down the aisle, it's the podcast tag team champions of the world, the Rage and Blaze Show. Welcome to another exciting episode of the Rage and Blaze Show. I'm Rage.
And I'm Blaze.
And I'm Janessa.
Dear Lord, she's back.
Cut the mic. Cut her mic. Cut her mic.
Darn it. Our show keeps getting hijacked by my daughter. So we are here for another exciting episode of the Rage and Blaze Show. We are going to go back in time to 1994 SummerSlam. Which is a perfect time because this episode will release tomorrow.
The same day SummerSlam releases.
Yes, the same as 2021 SummerSlam. So we are releasing a SummerSlam episode at the same time as SummerSlam. So I think that kind of worked out perfectly. So SummerSlam 94 kicks off with the Macho Man Randy Savage welcoming everybody to the SummerSlam. Yeah, says you're going to have the time of your life. So then we get the commentators are Vince McMahon and Jerry the King Lawler. First match is the Head Shrinkers, which we have just learned lost the WWF Tag Team Championships to Shawn Michaels and Diesel. So this match was supposed to be a tag team championship match, but now it's just a regular match, or regular tag match, against the $1 Million Team, which consists of Bam Bam Bigelow and IRS with the $1 Million Man as their manager. This match, I thought the crowd was not that into it at first. They were actually chanting boring, which was weird, because the match hadn't even started yet. I believe they are in Chicago, I believe they said. These guys were kind of critical before they even started wrestling. I found that weird. Maybe they were chanting something else, but I thought they were chanting boring.
Right.
From the get-go.
I don't know.
They turned the fans around because this was a very fun, exciting match. It was better than you would have thought. There was one little moment that looked like the only thing that would hurt less was Goldberg's spear on Monday Night Raw against Bobby Lashley. But the Head Shrinkers did a double slam to IRS, and it honestly looked like they just gently laid him down. It just did not look good at all. I don't know if IRS just forgot to jump or what happened there. It looked like he just laid down. It was very weird. But other than that one little lackluster move, this match was very high in energy and fun. I gave it 3.5 lay me down to sleeps.
Dang it, I was about to do the same. I don't know if I'm as high on it. It was alright. It was a fine match. It wasn't anything bad. I don't know if it deserved being boring chants going on, but...
Like I said, they hadn't even started wrestling.
But yeah, I'm gonna give this, you kind of took my idea. I'm going to give this 3 gingerly laying them down. I mean, it's the same thing, but, you know.
How original.
Okay. Whatever, you stole it.
Alright, next we're going to go see Leslie Nielsen. He's hot on the case.
Yes!
Let's go to it. Okay, so Leslie Nielsen, he is on the case looking for the Undertaker.
Yeah, because he's lost.
It was okay. It wasn't as funny as I thought it would be. Obviously, I think these segments are going to keep going, So, they had a little silly section where he ran into his buddy from the Naked Gun movies. I don't know his name. I apologize.
I don't remember either, but this whole segment is to promote the new Naked Gun. I think it was Naked Gun 33 and a third.
I don't know. I'd have to look and see what years those movies came out.
But
so anyhow, he says that we're both on the case, and they look down and they're standing on a case. I mean, it's Leslie Nielsen comedy. If you've ever seen a Naked Gun movie or any of that type of movies with Leslie Nielsen, you know that he says things and they're very literal.
Naked Gun 33 and the third, The Final Insult, is what he was promoting.
Okay.
Came out in 1994.
Okay, so, but yeah, it was very, shtick comedy is what it is. But we just we'll have to see more. It was.
I absolutely love Leslie Nielsen. I love this dumb comedy. First off, R.I.P. Leslie Nielsen, because he's been gone for quite a while now, about 10 years. We lost Leslie Nielsen. But I love the Naked Gun movies. I love Spy Hard. It was always one of my favorites. Dracula, Dead and Loving It. I love Leslie Nielsen. He's one of my favorites.
So then we move on to the next match. It is Bull Nakano with Luna Vachon in her corner versus the WWF Women's Champion, Alundra Blaze. The crowd was definitely not into this at first. A lot of boos. I don't know if that was because of the match itself, or if it's because the beginning of the match, Bull Nakano really kind of dominated, because they did start cheering when Alundra Blaze got that, second win and started coming back and fighting back. So they did.
We got some, I think, America chants, USA chants.
Yeah. So this match was actually better than I expected. I think Alundra Blaze was a very good wrestler in a time where there wasn't many people to wrestle. If that makes any sense.
No, it makes sense.
That makes sense.
They didn't take the women's division very seriously back then. She was pretty decent.
She just didn't have competition.
What was the name of that woman?
Bull Nakano.
Bull Nakano.
Bull Nakano.
Nakano.
Yes.
I've literally never seen this woman before in my life.
Well, now you have. So, as the match went on...
She looks like she got electrocuted with that haircut.
Alundra Blaze beat Eraserhead and retains the WWF Women's Championship.
Yeah.
Now, I gave this one... three... I would say lightning bolt shocks that cause your hair to spike up. I'm
gonna go with 2.5 Kid and Play movies.
Ooh, that was
Kid and Play. You remember that?
Yeah. Okay.
I feel like that fits.
You got me there. The Kid and Play reference was better.
Thank you.
Moving on. Okay, so before the next match, we get an interview with Big Daddy Cool Diesel and the Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels. They are the new WWF Tag Team Champions. And Diesel is about to go out and defend his Intercontinental Championship to Razor Ramon. And he has Walter Payton in his corner. So I thought this was a pretty fun match, pretty good. Had a pretty good ending. The way it ended definitely brought up some storytelling there, which is kind of funny considering they just won the tag team titles. But the match ends with Shawn Michaels super kicking Diesel, accidentally, of course. Razor Ramon gets out of the way.
Naturally.
And it looks like Diesel's pretty pissed at Heartbreak Kid. Going down the ramp, it looks like he's pretty furious at Shawn Michaels. So the fact that they just won the tag titles, I thought that was kind of interesting, that there's already going to be some kind of friction between the two. I gave this 4 give this 4 super kicks.
Yeah, this was a fun match and had a fun ending. The really fun, I'm going to dodge that attack that you're going to give me. So, yeah, I'm going to give this 4 whoopsies kicks.
Whoopsies? Okay.
Whoopsie kicks.
Whoopsie.
Toasty.
Okay. Alright. Okay, so before the next match, we get a little bit of a backstory about how Lex Luger has been courted by the $1 Million Man, and it kind of shows, the evidence of how he potentially has been courted by the $1 Million Man and that he is a sellout. So this match is between Lex Luger versus Tatanka, because Tatanka believes Lex has sold out to the $1 Million Man. I thought this was a very good match, and to my surprise, I don't remember Tatanka ever turning heel, but $1 Million Man distracts Lex Luger. Tatanka gets the win, and then while he's confronting $1 Million Man, Tatanka hits him in the back and starts beating him up pretty good. I mean, this is a pretty good beatdown. Yeah. He even started walking out of the ring and came back in to beat him down more.
And to shove a bill down his throat.
Shove some money down in his mouth. And this was a legit surprise to me because I forgot Tatanka ever went heel. So I don't know how long he stays heel, but I didn't remember it. So I actually gave this 4 legitimate surprises, or 4 surprise heel turns. How about that?
Surprise heel turns. I thought this was a decent match. I feel like you're giving it a 4 because of the really cool heel turn. But as a match, it was fine. But the ending was cool. I liked the heel turn. But that was after the match. So I'm going to give this 3.5 rich snacks.
Rich
snacks. Because Lex Luger just had a very pricey snack.
I get it. Okay. Moving on. Go. Okay, so the next match is Men on a Mission's Mabel versus Double J Jeff Jarrett, just in a singles match. And I thought this was just kind of more or less a filler match.
Yeah.
I don't know. It just wasn't very exciting. It was just one of those let's pass the time match. We need something to kind of chill the audience down. So I gave this 2.5 Garth Brooks wannabes.
Garth Brooks wannabes?
I mean, that's basically the character he's playing.
When was Garth Brooks first popular?
He came out in 89.
Okay, fair enough.
Blew up in 90.
Was he born in 89?
No, his first album, self-titled.
Oh, I thought you meant like he came out in 89. No, Garth...
Anyhow. his self-titled album, Garth Brooks, came out in 89.
Oh, okay.
And then No Fences came out in 90, and that's when Friends in Low Places, Thunder Rolls, and he got...
I was thinking it was closer to the middle. I thought your reference didn't fit, but never mind. I apologize.
No, I mean, at this point, Garth had probably had 4 albums out and was a superstar at this point.
All right, fair enough.
Mega star.
Fair enough.
If that's what you want to call it.
Fair enough.
He has sold more records than anybody.
A lot of people don't know who he is.
Eddie, get out of here, kids. This isn't your This podcast about wrestling. Point is, I gave it 2.5 Garth Brooks wannabes. What's your opinion of this?
Half I'm joking!
Mr. Tag was...
Don't die. Anyway. So, I agree it was kind of a weak match. And, I don't really have much more to say about it. Is she dying?
I don't know. I'm trying to think, do I need to do the Heimlich?
I think she's laughing while dying, so I'm not real sure. what we do here. I mean, you have a lot of kids, so...
Don't you have a podcast called This Just Got Dark?
That got dark, yeah, that got dark.
Got pretty dark.
The True Crime Podcast. I'm pretty sure your daughter would be proud to be on that podcast.
Wait, can I?
Maybe.
Woo! Ted Bundy!
Ted Bundy.
What the hell am I raising? Anyhow, we've
fan of
gotten
serial
so
killers?
far off course.
Get back on wrestling, come on.
Point is
Done choking.
This match was just lackluster. Filler match. I mean, Jeff Jarrett won it just because Mabel dropped on his butt. It just didn't do it for me.
It's funny you bring that up.
I thought was pretty generous.
It's funny you brought that up because I was going to give this 2 missed-ass opportunities. Missed-ass opportunities.
Forgotten opportunities?
Okay, so the next match we have for SummerSlam 1994 is Bret Hart versus Owen Hart for the World Heavyweight Championship, or the WWF Heavyweight Championship, in a steel cage match. And we get a big, lengthy, kind of promo build up to this match. We also get interviews with family members, Stu Hart and his wife, and British Bulldog and Jim the Anvil Neidhart. They're all there getting interviewed. So they definitely really built this match up. It's really a surprise this wasn't the main event, but obviously they're saving that for the Undertaker versus Undertaker match.
Yes. We also got a segment with Leslie Nielsen.
We did get it. Yeah, I forgot about that.
Yep. And, which was, it was good, like normal. And then we got an interview with Bret Hart. And during the interview, he's telling everyone that, I'm not mad at Owen. I'm mad at, I hate, Jim the Anvil Neidhart, because I believe he is the one that put these seeds of jealousy and everything into Owen Hart. He's like, so I'm not mad at Owen. He's like, I'm just sorry. And his Canadian accent definitely came out when he said he felt sorry for him. I liked it. It was great. It was a good interview too.
Yeah, and the match itself was pretty amazing.
Really, really long.
It was a very lengthy match, and a lot of great moments. My wife would kill me if I don't mention the one moment that she found exciting, which was the fact that Bret was on the other side of the cage trying to escape, and Owen grabbed him by his hair and pulled him back into the cage by his hair. My wife thought that was pretty impressive stuff.
Yeah, it was a lot of escape attempts. I mean, over and over again, you had Owen or Bret trying to go out the door, which, quite personally, I'm not a big fan of the escape from the door situation.
And luckily, this match did not end.
It did not end with a door.
But I completely agree. I've never agreed that the door should factor in to any cage match. Hell in a Cell, I guess you're not trying to escape.
No, it's not. That's not an escape.
But no, the door should never be a factor in an actual cage match. But unfortunately, it is.
And I didn't realize it was that far back either.
Yeah,
like I thought back in those days, you definitely had to climb over. For me, a cage match shouldn't be a pin. There shouldn't be submissions. You have to escape.
Let me ask you this: as many video games that you have played, wrestling video games, how many wrestling video games have you played where you are actually able to escape from the door in a cage match?
I mean, more recently, a lot. I mean, a lot of the newer ones definitely have that option.
Do they?
The old ones maybe not so much, but yeah, because it's normally a mini game. Just like climbing the cage, it's normally a mini game where you go to the cage and there's something like you pressing something, and it's a slow thing. You can't just easily go out. They still make it a little difficult. I'm not a fan of it, but yeah, it's there. It's been there for quite a few games.
Yeah, I wasn't sure, because as many times as I've played a wrestling video game, I don't remember ever trying to escape from the door. I didn't even know it was an option. So
I know it has been on quite a few games. I can't tell you offhand which ones exactly has that option, but I know it's definitely an option in a lot of games. But yeah, we got a lot of, and they tried to climb. They tried to. I swear, I think they went for that door at least 4 or 5 times. I mean, it was like one would do it, then the other would try to do it. I was kind of surprised by that. I thought this match was going to be more of a brutal. I didn't think Owen would try to win as quickly as he tried. Like, Owen tried to escape, I think, first, and quick. With Owen, it was, I guess the story they were trying to tell is like, I'm better than you, I can win this title and take it from you. And it wasn't as much of I thought it was going to be more of a blood feud, where he was just going to try to attack and just throw him up against the cage a lot and use the cage as a weapon, and it wasn't like that. But there was a lot of escape attempts, each one of them, and there was a lot. And like your wife mentioned, that hair pull, that looked painful. There was a point where Owen got Brett off the cage, and he fell, and I think it was a mistake, and he fell and landed right in his twig and berries, and ow. I think both of us were like, oh, that looks painful. And normally you see that happen, and it happened earlier with, I think, Brett actually being pulled down off the corner into the ropes. But this one looked worse because you could tell it didn't look like it was staged. It looked like it legit, he just lost his footing and landed right into the ropes. It was,
Yeah, so like I said, this match was really fun. It was exciting. There was a lot of great wrestling, a lot of great, tricks, falls, and
a lot of throwing off the top of the cage, and not like,
right,
like they didn't go to the top, like they were trying to go over, and then they got pulled over and thrown off.
Yeah, and even in the end of the match, the way Owen kind of got caught in the cage to, and couldn't escape.
The ending was really cool. He was, it was kind of like a tree of woe on the cage.
Yeah.
He got caught, fell down, and he was just one leg dangling in between the bars.
Right.
And then Brett was able to just jump off and get the win. So, this is a very good match. It was a long match, too. I think this match, do you have the time? Do you have the length of the match?
No, I can look it up, but I do not.
It was probably at least 45 minutes, maybe close to an hour. But there was a long time before that too. I mean, like we mentioned earlier, Jerry the King Lawler and Vince McMahon was talking to the Hart family, and it was crazy. Jerry just starts yelling at Stu. He's like, "You're the one that did this. You're the one that raised them and ruined Bret Hart."
32 and a half minutes. But
really? It was only 32 and a half minutes?
If you add everything that happened before the match and everything that happened after the match, which we haven't even got into yet.
Yeah.
You definitely can see where you thought it was like more 45 to an hour.
It felt like a long
because
match.
They had a big build up to it, interviews. And I'm sure that was to tear build the cage up. And then, of course, after the match, Jim the Anvil Neidhart attacked British Bulldog in the stand.
And his wife.
And his wife went over the cage, too. Not sure if that was supposed to happen.
I feel like it was. I bet the wife was like, I want to take a tumble. I want to take a...
Maybe.
I mean, and then, if I was married to a wrestler... I think I would want that. Like, yeah, I'll do it. Let's do this. This is going to be fun. Knock me over.
But anyhow, they started attacking Brett, and they got Brett back into the cage, and they were fighting off everybody so they could beat up Brett. So there was a lot that went on before and after the match that made this match seem longer than I think it really was.
Yeah, there was like a rumble because Brett, their brothers and brothers went in too.
Yep.
Yeah, there was like a bunch of hearts inside that ring, helping Brett, helping Owen, like big heart civil war going on there.
Yeah. So, but yeah, it was definitely a really exciting match. I would give it 5 out of 5 twigs and berries. How about that?
Twigs and berries. Yeah, I like this match. It was a lot of fun. I don't know if that's quite in the 5 range for me. I'm thinking more along the 4.5 Tree of Woes.
There you go.
So yeah, it was a decent match. It was a long. Well, I guess it was not as long as I thought. Yeah, and unfortunately, it looks like we're only going to have 2 matches to talk about in this show.
Which is why we have definitely stretched this out. Trying to add some time to this podcast. When we cut off part 1, we didn't realize there was only 2 matches left.
Yeah.
But we tried. But the thing is they took so much time up for this match. It makes sense why, because we always try to choose halfway through the show. But when you only have 2 matches, and you're only going to talk about 2 matches, so we'll just give a little bit more detail.
Well, then you also have, and I believe there was another segment after with Leslie Neilson.
We haven't seen that yet, have we? I thought that was just a recap of what's been going on.
No, they had the segment where Leslie and I can't remember his chief's name from Naked Gun. They were looking for Undertaker, and then a silhouette of Undertaker showed up in the entranceway, and they didn't see it, and they just turned around and was like, "Oh, let's go this way."
All right, let's go ahead and get to what I believe the main event is. Okay, so on to the main event of the night. It is $1 Million Man's Undertaker versus Paul Bearer's Undertaker. And I don't know what to say about this match except for the crowd was so quiet. You could hear every spring in the ring as they were moving and everything. And I don't know if they were quiet because they were just bored or if they were quiet because I don't know why they were so quiet. They wasn't even booing the match.
It's like when you go on a date and your date is just constantly looking at their phone because they are so not into you. That's what this crowd was. They were not into them at all.
This was, it was one of the coldest crowds because the weird thing is this same crowd went on fire for the Owen Hart and Bret Hart match.
Yeah.
I mean, they were into that for the whole 30 minutes.
Well, imagine going and getting that match and then this being your main event.
Yeah, it was weak. It was very weak. It was very slow.
So many weird botched moves.
Odd. It was one of the worst matches I think I've ever seen. And this is a legend. We're talking about The Undertaker. And this match just was horrible.
Unfortunately, he was facing someone who has the other Undertaker ever been.
I don't know how much experience he had before this, but Brian Lee, who I believe was the other Undertaker, had a career in wrestling after this match. But yeah, I don't know like how much experience he had before this match. I'm looking it up now, and it says that he debuted in 1988 this match was 1994, so no, he should have been a competent wrestler.
Well, I don't know if competent's definitely not the word I would use. He was, I don't know. I can't even put it all on him because I don't think either one of them looked great in this match. Probably the best thing that happened in this match was, it was kind of cool when he was picking up the real Undertaker, and then the Undertaker manages to overpower him and then drops him down for a tombstone. When he reverses that tombstone. That was probably the coolest thing that happened in the match, but it was just, oh my gosh. There's a point where Undertaker tries to throw him over the ropes with a choke slam, and it just so weak. And then there was a point where I think it was the real Undertaker, the other Undertaker ducks. This is a hard match to call, by the way.
Yeah.
The
Undertaker just clothesline the Undertaker. The Undertaker just suplex the Undertaker.
But he goes over the ropes, and it's just so obvious. Like, it doesn't flow at all. It was just, this match was weak. It was bad. And then the beginning, well, first off, you have $1 Million Man announcing his Undertaker. And I did like the green mist because it's $1 Million Man's Undertaker, so the mist was green. Did you notice that? The light in the mist was green. And then you get Paul Bearer come out, and he brings out an urn. The lights go off, and he opens the urn, and there's a light inside. Mm-hmm. Why is there a light inside?
I don't know.
We don't know. There's just a light inside. And the thing is Undertaker comes out from the entrance, so was that just like the bat symbol? The Undertaker symbol? Like, he's got to shine it up in the air so the Undertaker knows it's time for justice.
Yeah, I don't have an explanation for you. I just know this match was just... It was just boring, honestly, is the best way I can describe it. It just wasn't a good match. It was very slow, and I know you're trying to portray two slow Undertakers, but it just didn't work.
Yeah, and it was bad.
It made it more awkward that the fans didn't react at all.
Because they saw how bad it was.
But I think they were like that from the beginning.
Maybe. Yes. This whole storyline was weird. The match was weird. The storyline was weird. It was just a weird match.
Very weird. So, I gave this match 1 Tombstone Pile Driver. And I did that because that's what it took to end this match.
Actually, it took 3.
Well, okay, fair enough. I gave it a 1.
I'm giving this 1 Undertaker.
Because that's all there needs to be?
Yeah, I hope there's no other Undertakers, just 1 Undertaker.
So anyhow.
Yeah, it was rough. It was a rough match.
So after the match, we get more urn flashlighting. And then we get a little bit of a Leslie Nielsen segment where they close the case and they show him holding a closed case. Which actually, our fans need to know this. That was the actual first appearance of the Money in the Bank briefcase.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, of course. I mean, they didn't put Money in the Bank written on the side, but it's the same briefcase they use to this day.
Sure, they haven't updated that at all.
No, it's the exact same case. It's just painted different throughout the years. A little bit of history there.
So what you're saying is Leslie Nielsen is the first Money in the Bank winner.
Absolutely. But he never cashed it in.
Surely you can't be serious.
My name's not Shirley.
That is not how it goes. That is... Anyways.
Okay. So, now that we have finished this, let's go ahead and talk about our Best and worst.
Favorite match of the night.
Okay, so best match of the night is a no-brainer, which I think both these segments are kind of a no-brainer.
Yeah, both of them.
And that is Bret Hart versus Owen Hart. Outshined everything in this show. So by far, best match of the night, bar none.
Yeah, the best match of the night was definitely the true main event of the night. In my heart. In Bret Hart. It's the true main event. It was the best match by far. Yeah, Bret Hart versus Owen Hart. Best match of the night.
Definitely.
There's no arguing. Neither one of us are going to argue about either of these picks, I think.
I don't think so either.
All right.
Worst match of the night.
Worst match of the night, surprise, was The Undertaker versus The Undertaker. This was just not a good idea. I'll take that back. It was a good idea. It was a kind of a cool storyline. The execution in the match was just by far horrible. Just horrible. But I gotta give them credit. It was a unique and cool storyline, which was basically built around the fact that The Undertaker was injured.
Right.
I mean, they still kept this character engaged in the show because they knew how hot the character was. But unfortunately, the real man behind the character had to take time off for surgery. So, I gotta give them credit because they still wanted to keep the people involved with Undertaker. It's just the match they receive at the end of the storyline, unfortunately, just did not work out. I have actually read that the plan was to keep this storyline going after SummerSlam, but the match was so bad they ended up ending the storyline right then and there. Which explains why The Undertaker was not in the casket when Leslie Nielsen looked in the casket at the end of the show. Because that was supposed to continue. And they never did anything else with this story afterwards. Which was a good thing, because the match was so poorly received.
It was indeed.
I mean, Mr. McMahon even had to mention during the match how quiet the crowd was, and said it's because they were stunned. No, it wasn't, McMahon. It was because they were bored out of their mind and thought this match was atrocious. So, definitely worst match of the night. Don't think I'm going to get an argument from you.
No, it's definitely the worst match of the night. There's no argument.
Okay.
SummerSlam rankings.
Okay, let's go ahead and rank these. And outside of one major, amazing main event, I thought this was kind of one of the lesser SummerSlams. I didn't think it had nearly as many good matches. It had some decent to okay matches, but outside of that cage match, this was kind of a weak one. So I'm going to go ahead and stick with number 5 at my top, number 6 at my number 2, number 4 at number 3. Think I'm going to keep number 3 at number 4. I'm going to slide this in at number 5, and then number 6 at 2, and then my last one would be SummerSlam 1.
All right, yeah, I kind of agree. Really, there's one great match in this, and that's about the rest of it is kind of weak. I want to put it higher because I love Leslie Nielsen, but even those segments weren't as good as they could have been, or as I know he can do. So I'm going to go with my worst being number 7 being 1.
Wait.
I start bottom, and then we go up.
Oh, 7. So you're putting this as your worst?
No. I'm putting the first SummerSlam as 7.
Okay.
Second SummerSlam as 6. Then I think I'm going to just put this right up SummerSlam 7 in 5th place. Then I have SummerSlam 4 at 4th place. SummerSlam 3 at 3rd place. SummerSlam 6 at 2nd place. And SummerSlam 5 at 1st.
Okay.
Might be better.
Anyhow, so that's going to conclude this podcast. Let's go ahead and plug the pluggables.
You can find me on Dragon Blazer Productions on the Facebooks, the Instagrams, the YouTube. You can find me on Twitter at Dragon Blazer Pro.
And you can find the Rage and Blaze Show on Facebook. You can find at the Rage and Blaze Show on Twitter. And you can find me at Ricky Rayberg at Ricky Rayberg on Twitter, at the Rage and Blaze Show on Instagram.
You can also email us at rageandblaze@gmail.com.
We also have that hot number.
Thanks for listening to these dorks.
This podcast just got out of control.
This has been the Rage and Blaze Show. Grr.
Good
night from Rage's Pit.
Good night from Rage's Pit.
Well, now I feel like if I do it, it's just going to be silly.
Just go ahead.
Your kids are just taking over our
This
podcast.
is our podcast now. This is the Scarnessa podcast. Grr.
Scarnessa?
Scarnessa. No, don't put them together.
Oh, I thought that's what you were doing.
If you want to call us and tell us to shut these kids up,
No, we're the
it's
best part.
567-443-0663.
Tell you what, I'll shut them up here real quick. It is bedtime.
Bedtime!
That's funny.
So that
Funny.
it has now been the Rage and Blaze Show. I'm Rage.
And I'm Blaze.
And I'm Scar.
And I'm Janessa.
Good night from Rage's
Scarlet's
Pit.
Pit.
Everybody's got a price. Everybody's gonna pay. 'Cause the $1 Million Man always gets his way.
Money, 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 money.
Some might cost a little. Some might cost a lot. But I'm the $1 Million Man. And you will be bought.
Money, money, money,
Everybody's got a price. Everybody's gonna pay. 'Cause the $1 Million Man always gets his way.
money, 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 money.
Some might cost a little. Some might cost a lot. But I'm the $1 Million Man. And you will be bought.
Hey everyone, this is Blaze from the Ragin' Blaze and the Boomer and Blaze Show. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe for more wrestling content.